I guess it's just 3 of us so far. Oh, there's David.
Hey.
Hey. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure all this out, so it took me a few minutes to get.
That's okay. My computer wasn't working, so I was a little worried myself.
Yeah, not sure. We have Colleen, Joy, and yourself, David, and me, and Mike's here with me. Haven't seen anyone else come on yet.
Did anybody else respond? Do you know?
Oh, here's Lillian is here now.
Hey, Lillian.
I thought Todd was going to be on here, but he liked the invitation when I sent it out last week. And I'm not sure if, like I say, whether I'm doing this right even, because like I scheduled the event last week, but I can't find the event I have scheduled. Like I have to start a new one for the now time frame when I go to do these, because I can't find the ones that I have scheduled.
I mean, I think Shane did the same thing, from what I remember.
Yeah, it looks like Kathy's on here now too.
Oh, hey, Kathy.
Hi.
Well, hopefully Todd will ring in. So why don't I open us up in prayer? God, we thank you so much for those who could be gathering this evening. We pray that Todd will be joining us. You know, as we share this evening, help us to learn and support and encourage one another. Bless our conversation in Jesus' name. Amen. So, Lillian, what's going on in Paducah?
Oh, we just came off of Holy Week. We had a Seder meal on Wednesday. We had Monday, Thursday. We had Good Friday. Had 2 services yesterday. So today we're just taking a day of rest.
So what did you do at your Seder meal on Wednesday?
We follow the one from Maxwell House. They have one online that you can copy and use. We had a decent turnout. We had about 12 people.
And when you say you had 2 services yesterday, would you have one in the morning and one in the evening?
Yeah, we have a sunrise service and then we have a regular service.
So what did you do at your sunrise service?
Sunrise service is just a little bit more laid back. We read the scriptures, we have communion, and then I do a short sermon. Then we go out for breakfast, and we come back, and at 11 o'clock we have the big celebration. We had good turnouts for both. We had 17 for the sunrise service, and we had 27 or 28 for the regular service.
Oh, good for you.
So we were real pleased with all of Holy Week.
Well, how is the church doing otherwise? I remember last time you talked about, I think you said you were struggling to pay some of the bills or something, or people were coming through to pay them?
That's true, but we had no idea what happened all of a sudden. We had our congregational meeting, we've elected new officers, and now all of our bills are up to date. And I've even gotten paid for the past month, so I'm real pleased with that. And things are looking up for us. We have a 50-50 bingo coming up in May. We're hoping to make enough money at that to pay our insurance for the year.
Well, excellent.
And I think most of it, a lot of it has been caused by just, we got a couple of young men that are just really into a lot of this, including the fundraising end of it.
Well, that having the right gifts always matters and helps.
So right now, I guess MCC Paducah is just feeling really blessed.
So are you going to General Conference?
I'm going to General Conference. I won't be going to the spring conference you all are having just because of finances. I can't do everything. So that's the one we've decided we'll leave out.
Okay. Well, Reverend Colleen, what's going on at Louisville?
Well, just like in Paducah, we've been busy with Holy Week. We too had a Maundy Thursday service, a Good Friday service, sunrise service with a huge breakfast afterwards, and then we actually changed our worship time for the regular worship to 9:30 because we were just afraid people would fall asleep during the service because of eating all that food. So it went over quite well. And we also, last Tuesday, Dwight, who's on the board with me, and we went to the first board meeting of the Southeast Associated Ministries, and we were voted in as new members, church members. Louisville does things a little bit differently. We have associated or area ministries throughout the Louisville metro area. And so instead of having food banks at our church or food pantries and some of the other things, we are aligned with an area ministry, which they do all of the work of verifying people's needs. They have, they help with rent or utilities. And as what we do is that we help with their fundraisers. We have signed up instead of bringing food, because they get food directly from the Dare to Care food bank in Kentucky. We are supplying toiletries, and so we've taken several loads over that our congregants have brought in with cleaning supplies, personal supplies, toilet paper, paper towels, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all of that kind of stuff that people cannot buy with food stamps. And so we are meeting that need for them. So it's rather exciting. They are also doing a fundraiser selling tickets for Thunder Over Louisville, which is this big event 2 weeks before the Derby. And so we were promoting that. So I think it's going to be quite a good venture for us. We were involved before at our other location with the Highland Community Ministries. So, this is just what you do, what churches do in the area. They sign up with these area ministries.
Yeah, that when I did I did half of my internship for MCC at a Quaker church in Richmond, and there's a consortium of churches there that had a thing called Open Arms, and actually part of my internship I was actually running that ministry for the city with all the 12 churches.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, and see, in just our area, we've got 17 or 18 churches. The Highland Community Church their churches have been closing over there, but they still have 7 or 8. The downtown area has many, many churches because, we've got a lot of people, and they all have their various needs that, we try to help them with, so.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do that here in Indianapolis, and we probably should. I mean, that really is an excellent idea.
Well, what we found, because they started something similar in Maryland when I lived there, that you have people who go from church to church to church to church asking for the same thing.
Right.
And so without coordination, they get more than what maybe they really should, and then somebody else doesn't get anything because this person went to all the churches. So,
right.
Like you found out in Richmond, there's some good that happens with these area ministries. So.
Well, yeah, because you pull all the resources together, you can accomplish a lot more.
Yeah, that's right. And some of them, now this particular one does not have a social worker yet. They're hoping to hire one, but that way they do training and all that stuff, but this way they can better deal with how do we help you to get a job? Who do we have to
Right.
contact and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Does anybody else like in Paducah or Dayton or other areas? Do you have a consortium of churches that do this kind of work?
Yeah, we have the Paducah Cooperative Ministry, and almost every church in Paducah, being smaller, belongs to it. We provide food. We've been providing soda crackers and soups and raviolis and any type of canned meal because we have a lot of single people, and that's homeless, and that's what they need.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
how does I guess do they how do you guys fit in with that and get along with them as MCC in Paducah? Or is
Very,
that
we get along very well with them. We get a letter of thank you at least every 3 months. They tell us what they need for a particular period of time, and we try to do that. If there's money left over at the end of the year, we always donate that, and that's for rent, utilities, that type of thing. Again, what we found out, it is the best way for us to do it because otherwise we have the same people that will go to every church in Paducah to try to get the same amount. I always said I think we have a group of people who make their living off of that.
Yeah, that is funny. I didn't mean to cut you off, Colleen. Anything else, Colleen?
No, that's about it.
What about you, Joy? What's going on in Dayton?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I was going to ask Colleen first. Did you start that vision process with Tony Freeman?
Not yet. David, you haven't gotten back to us on that.
Oh, well, actually, we both are. It'll be after Easter,
Okay.
so it'll be in April.
That you'll get back to me or what? Because the first 2 weeks in April, I'm on jury duty, and so that that's going to tie me up for a little bit.
Well, let me tell Tony that then. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because what was he talking about? Was he planning on coming in also?
I guess I can't. I know I can't answer right now, but I think there might be initially yes. It might be both of us initially.
Yeah. You guys are going to have to coordinate that with me. We've already got a guest person coming in the middle of the month, and the fellow from SEAM, the executive director, is coming in and speaking. So, and I'm going to be taking vacation sometime. The 24th, I'm guest preaching at the Unitarian Church. So, this has got to be coordinated.
Okay. We were going to have let me get back with Tony because we just actually talked last week.
Yeah.
Because
I've got to get this built up for the people that they even want to show up on a Saturday. It's starting to get really nice here, There's outside stuff and especially as we get closer to the end of the month, everything stops, doesn't it, Kathy, for Derby, and so.
That's right. I forgot about the Derby.
Yeah.
Definite holiday around here.
Mm-hmm. And it starts at least 2 weeks before the Derby. And, I mean, you can't get anybody to do anything because it's the Derby. So.
Wow. Well, I had found out about Tony's program, and it looks really good, but we decided it wouldn't be appropriate for Dayton. And I had recommended your church, Colleen.
Well, I've been talking to Tony about it a couple months now, yeah. We just didn't have it coordinated because I'm part of Tony's cohort group, and so he wanted me to incorporate it as part of that. So,
right.
What is the cohort group? What's that?
Well, it was from the family-sized to pastor-sized church. We've been doing this for about a little over a year and a half now.
That's right. Okay. I knew that. I just brain fart.
Yep, that's okay.
Mm,
Yeah, because Joy's been doing a discernment process that Darlene set up, over like a year and a half ago.
oh, yeah, more like 2.5 years ago.
Oh gosh, it's
Yeah,
been that long, Joy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Time
Well,
flies.
we worked on it really hard for a year, and then that discernment process took us to deciding we would move to a different location. Then we kind of took a break for a year, and now we've restarted it
Yeah.
again.
Well,
We're
And see,
how was your first Easter in your new place?
Well, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. We've had some complications with the landlord church, so we didn't get to use the sanctuary. We wanted to get in the big room. So instead, we used the fellowship hall. We're trying to figure out if that's a space we want to use again for worship.
What
Uh,
happened to the chapel?
well, we use the chapel too, but occasionally we like to get out of the chapel because it's really small.
Oh,
When I get 30 of my people in there, they start to feel cramped.
oh gosh, I didn't realize it was that small.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely fit 40, but you know how people are with their personal space.
Yeah, I
So,
guess. I guess when I saw it, it seemed bigger to me.
yeah. Well, we took out a couple pews also. That may be one reason.
Okay.
We needed more space at the front for communion and musicians and stuff. But we did a Seder meal during Maundy Thursday. This was our second time in my tenure to do it, and they seem to enjoy it. We do it Jewish style, not Christianized. And we did a really fun, believe it or not, Good Friday service. I've been lucky to have pulled in to 20-something people, and so they have energy and creativity that we enjoy. One of them wrote a drama and also sang a solo for Good Friday, so that was really great. Easter was not as many people as I'd hoped for, so that was disappointing.
Well, I mean, our attendance was probably down about 20% too in Indianapolis for
Hmm.
Easter, because Easter is always our biggest day
Hmm.
of the year, and we were probably 20% down from last year.
The thing that always frustrates me about being part of MCC Church is it seems like people choose to be with their family and not insist that the family come with them to their church. I have a few like that every year, I watched the landlord's church that we're with, and those matriarchs and patriarchs pull in their huge extended family to come to Easter worship. But MCC folks don't always seem interested in or able to do that. So they leave for us for that day.
Well, did you go to their Easter service?
Either they've gone to Easter with their family somewhere else, or they
I meant your host church, the church you're running from. Did you go to their service?
no. But I heard they had like 100 people, which is very big for them.
What's their normal worship size?
40 to 60.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, in that big building. We've had some difficulties with them lately, so even though we had a nice honeymoon for several months, we're now trying to figure out how this works, really.
Is there, I guess, anything that anybody else could learn from this, or?
Um, I think it's when you know, when you're an established congregation, it's easy to think about your own self more than the landlord you have to share with, particularly if you're cohabitating. And so I get frustrated because I want to schedule events. I don't want to wait for their approval. I don't like having you want things your own way. And part of the deal, I think, is learning to finesse when you cohabitate, give and take. I'm still trying to figure out what we can do for them that will then enable them to be a little more considerate of us. Like today, I went and put flowers in one of the flower beds at church as a gift. The gestures of goodwill are really important. And whatever you figure that out to be.
Do they know that? Do you know that they did that? Do they know you did that?
Yes, because I had to ask the right people. I'm not used to having to go through all these channels, too. I had to ask the property chair if it was okay, and he had to ask people. But then, fortunately, when I went, one of their board members saw me, and she was happy about it.
Well, I know, like, we have a grounds committee, and in the grounds committee, there's like a gardening group and the lawn care group, and so I think I kind of get the, who you're supposed to ask kind of thing. I guess it can get complicated.
Yeah, it's just that they're much slower than I'm used to being. It takes them a long time to respond to things. But anyway, things are going fine. We have good momentum. I've been able to get some structures back in place. When I came 2.5 years ago, the church was in a dwindling to dying phase, and so I've been able to resurrect committees and get people organized so that they have clear roles and feel like they're a part.
Okay, good. Are any examples of what some of those committees are?
I've got my worship team built up, and that's really nice. I have 2 people assigned to Altar Guild. I have 1 liturgist who always does communion with me, consecration and serving. I have 3 musicians now, and 2 of them are on the worship team. And I have an artistic consultant. I think that's my whole worship team. So I like having all those capacities filled.
Right. Well, sounds good.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to go on vacation tomorrow, so I'm happy.
Even better. So, Steve, what's going on in West Virginia? I know Steve's there, isn't he? Steve? Steve? His mic's not muted. Steve? Well, I guess we can't hear you. Can you type a message? Oh, there you are. You laughed.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
now you can.
All right. I thought, well, let me try putting it back on mute and unmute and see if that works. So We had a smaller turnout too yesterday than normal. So that was a little disappointing, but it just so happened that Easter coincided with the spring break for the schools, so our family of four went out of town um, on vacation since it was spring break. And so it was just me and Mike and the one other person who's regularly attending. We did have a good offering, though, so that was good. And
You had 3 people in attendance and a good offering?
yeah, a really good offering. So, and um, so we also, since the children weren't there, we didn't have our annual Easter egg hunt. So that'll happen next week if they are there. I guess my big area of concern right now is that, we've paid off our building.
Right.
I've not yet seen any paperwork, so I'm freaking out about that. I've called the bank a few times, and they just tell me that it takes 4 to 6 weeks. Well, this week should be 6 weeks, and I still haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah, that stuff can take a while. Hopefully, maybe you can give them a visit.
Yeah, I may end up having to do that. I'd have to take some time off work, and I'm not even sure where I need to visit to actually get the paperwork. I don't know where it would be. It could be in another state.
Um, Working with the shelter once a month.
Yes.
And what day is that?
We do that on the third Saturday of every month.
And how are people showing up for that?
It was down a little bit this month. I think because the weather was nice, so people are going and doing other things. I don't know.
Well, when the weather gets nice, people are still in need too.
And what else? I can't think of anything other than I just want to continue to ask for prayers for Cookie. She's still not doing well. So.
Oh.
So, Barry and Kathy, do you want to share anything about the retreat that's going to be up in May?
I'll let Kathy get started, and then I'll share some things after she's shared a little bit.
I'm working on homily and my part of it, and Rob and I were talking about the creativity and spirituality that she's going to be doing. Lily, you may remember that's a workshop she did at Paducah several years ago. So,
Yeah, people really enjoyed that.
yeah. So, she's going to be doing that. So we were talking more about that and trying to getting that together. So it's, it sounds like it's going to be really an exciting retreat. I don't know how many people will be able to be there, but I think that just looking at what we've got planned with Reverend Joy and Reverend David's topics and the free time that we have. I was showing Robin pictures of the convent where it's going to be at. It's such a beautiful setting. You did ask, is there water nearby? I couldn't remember.
I can't remember. I don't remember.
All right. She usually has people take a little bit of time after she does a meditation, just thank them in the spirit of, to be connecting with God. And then, then they take some time to go out into nature and to select some things, being creative.
And Kathy, just to let you know, I did print out the flyer that Joy had put together, and several people took copies of it with them yesterday after church.
Thank you.
Mm.
Good. I created a registration form too. I hope that got around.
Yeah, I printed both of them.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I'm hoping since it's only an hour to Cincinnati, people will go.
I see that Todd has joined us now, David.
Oh, hey, Todd.
Hey there, I'm here.
Well, hey, better late than never. You're
Hi,
here.
Tom.
I'm sorry, I had monthly Gay and Lesbian Community Center board meeting tonight, and it ran over.
Life happens. I guess, Barry, did you want to share something before we have Todd talk about Pittsburgh?
Just one thing to add what Kathy shared, and that is that Kathy's topic changed, and she's going to be doing Lectio Divina. So the original information that was sent out on the seminars, you should just change Kathy's presentation to Lectio Divina. Otherwise, I don't know of any real changes, except the timing of a few of them has changed a little bit. That's about the only thing.
Yeah, and just, too, the last workshop, that, really is not crafts. It really is that creativity and spirituality. The ideal is not on crafts as much as, connecting through God with our creativity. I think if people come expecting crafts, I think they're going to be, surprised.
Yeah, because people are going to probably have a choice of what they want to do.
Right. It'll be, but it's not just a matter of craft time. It's not Sunday school. It's not making Sunday school type projects. It really is learning how to connect with God and by opening ourselves up, to our creative selves.
So hopefully, I guess, Lillian, even though you can't be there on the 6th and 7th, hopefully somebody from Paducah can be there. It'd be nice if they could, or some people. So Todd, what is going on at Pittsburgh?
Things are actually pretty much status quo. We brought in 3 new members on Sunday, and somehow I lived through Holy Week, and that's about it.
David?
Yes.
This is Colleen again. I forgot to share some really good news. Can I share that now?
Yes. Feel free.
Okay. In March, we brought in a seminarian from the Louisville Presbyterian Seminary as our new music director. He and his wife both, she sings, so she's in the choir now, and he plays the piano. And they're young people. They're like 22 years old, maybe 23. She's a nursing student, and he came from, he was the music director of a show choir in Austin, Indiana for 3 years. So he comes with that experience, and his father is a Church of God pastor, and he says, I did not want to be part of that. So he was looking for a church to even do his field placement, seminary field placement, and he wants to do it with us. He had first met me, well, actually didn't meet me, but he came to know me at the Transgender Day of Remembrance service at the seminary last November, and I was the homilist. And so they're just a wonderful young couple, and just like Joyce said, when you bring in kids that are 22 and 23, they have this enthusiasm, and um, Kathy was at our Good Friday service, and the Good Friday service went over really well with him leading the music. The choir sounded great. So I'm very pleased.
Well, that sounds fantastic.
He really is very good. I'm very pleased with him.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
Well, I mean that really, and I mean what a voice for diversity, having a straight pastor and a straight couple as music director and an MCC.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. He was saying that we wanted to be someplace, where there was diversity, and he fits right in. He's got a pierced lip. He's got tattoos. She's got tattoos. And so among our crowd, which is a lot of older people, that's a little strange, but people are accepting them. I mean, like Kathy said, they fit right in. And Barry, have you met them yet? You have, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to 2 services so far since they've been there.
So
Anyway. Sounds like they're true millennials.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so.
And what seminary are they going? Is he going to?
We have 2 seminaries in town. One of them is the Southern Baptist Seminary. They are not from that one. They are from the Louisville Presbyterian Seminary, and which is a very open and affirming seminary. And I've gone there for some continuing ed credits, and like I said, we did our Transgender Day of Remembrance service there. So it's a nice place.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, I guess, that somebody with piercings and tattoos coming from the Southern Baptist. But Presbyterian. No, but still, that's pretty cool, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I guess Gay Pride's coming up for I'm trying to think here, in a few months for June. I guess are there plans for what your churches are doing at that time as of yet?
Well, actually, in Louisville, we're not doing the June services. We have decided to put our money and time into a new one that started last year in September, and it's in the Highlands area where we used to have our church, and it's along this big stretch of road called Bardstown Road, and more people have been attending this particular event, so we've already, signed up to have a booth, and it's also close to our homecoming, so I think it's going to work out very good, because in the traditional Pride service in June, the parade, our people are at the point where they can't walk the parade anymore, and so we were getting smaller and smaller numbers showing up, help to support the church on the parade, and then at the festival, people just weren't. They'd come by and get whatever free stuff we were handing out, but we didn't get any interaction with people. So we're hoping this new venue is going to be much more of an opportunity to meet and greet people and to tell them who we are.
What do you mean that you couldn't walk the parade anymore?
Our people are getting too old.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you've got your 2 new young music directors.
Yeah. So we'll have 2 people there.
I guess I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, our parade is actually really long, and does take actually quite a while, about an hour to walk. We're going to try to have a float this year, but we said that the last couple of years, so it's always so hard to pull off. So. Well, I guess we'll see. Anybody else sort of seeing plans on the horizon?
We're making plans in Dayton. I'm on the planning group in the community for children and youth area for Pride. And I think that's a really great development. We're working with the local CUSEN chapter that, CUSEN advocates for teens in schools and works with GSAs. And we're also gearing up for children. I think this is going to be a great development for Dayton Pride because I've always seen children coming with their parents, but we'll have activities specifically for them. Also, I'm trying to initiate an interfaith pride worship. I was real involved with planning that when I was in Cincinnati, and I think it's a really good thing for a community, particularly to bring faith leaders together from different sectors. So that is scheduled. It's still not organized, but it's scheduled for June 2nd, and of course, Dayton Pride is the first Saturday of June.
And I know Lillian, I guess Gay Pride in Paducah is all stems on if Paducah MCC can do something.
It usually is, and what we're planning this year is actually one of our youngest new members is part of the community theater, and they're going to do a skit, I guess, or a play with the Golden Girls, involving some of the men from our church playing the different Golden Girls. We're hoping it brings people out. So that's our biggest plan so far.
And when would that be happening, in September?
No, it'll probably be happening in June. We're
okay.
Yeah, we're thinking the second Sunday in June.
Sounds cool.
Well, we figured at least we're doing something. That doesn't cost the church a lot of money, and we can hopefully get some of the other gay people from around us come and enjoy it.
Well, good.
Yeah, I've also been in touch with the First Unitarian pastor where I'm going to be preaching on the 24th of April. She had done an interfaith service before Pride in June a couple years ago, and so I've been talking to her about doing it again because their church is a lot larger than what we are in right now, and it's more downtown, so you get a bigger influx of people, and so we're probably going to be putting that together again this year. So at least we'll be doing that in June and be part of that, and then the big one would be in September.
Well, I guess, Colleen, now that you've been in that building for, I guess, a while now, how is that working out?
We're not going to stay. We said when we went in there we had a 2-year lease, and so when Joy was talking about what she's been doing with Darlene, we've been doing that with Tony and Ken Martin, and we've created a transformational leadership team, and we're at the point right now of putting surveys out to see if the church wants us to partner with another church, if they want us to see about buying another church, buying an existing church, or what it is that they want us to do, and different questions about the service, the times, and our look into the community and everything. So we're going to be putting those out, I think, the end of the month, end of April, and be reviewing everything that comes in from that. And so that's why, again, you need to be talking to Tony before planning on coming out, because the group that originally got started a year and a half, actually almost 2 years ago, they've put a lot of work in this transformational leadership team, and so they really want to see what's it going to be like to switch over to this new program that Tony wants. So.
And I guess I didn't. I don't know anything about what happened previous, but it sounds like Tony does.
Well, it was Ken Martin's idea when we had met. It was last February that we all got together, a part of this group down in at Ken Martin's house down in Austin, Texas, and he introduced this concept of using this book and getting started on it, and so they've been doing that, and so I guess it's more like 15 months, not 18. So they've got a lot of work involved in it. And so they said they would like to talk about it before agreeing that we were going to make that change.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause yeah, that's new to me, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I think everybody knows that, or maybe not, but Shannon's, last day on the network team was in February, end of February,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to be graduating from seminary in May, which is what, in a month and a half or so, and then she's going to be moving out west. Uh, so she's sort of looking forward to the future and sort of in her future endeavors. I'm going to be taking over the newsletter duties. Now she would do a lot of things with Google forms and stuff, and I'm because I use my phone for a lot of things. Um, I might be just sending out emails and going just by emails instead of using forms. And is everybody okay with that? If you just wrote up stuff in an email and sent it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fine.
Because my phone's a BlackBerry, and so going to Google Forms would actually end up being on the website, and it'll be a lot easier for me because I can use Constant Contact on my BlackBerry as well. So it might be easier for me to use email because I'll be able to track it better as to what comes in with my phone. Since I've got my phone with me all the time and I'm not on my computer really all that much. Uh, so I'm going to send out an email probably the next day asking for that, and then trying to get something out this weekend. I think I've got something from, Colleen, I think you had sent something to her at one point, and I'm not sure if that needs to be updated or not.
I don't think, well, it wasn't anything for April. It would have just been for her the last month that she had sent it out.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and send something out for that's current, and people can respond to that and just attach, you just attach things that need to be attached, and just with just one email instead of having to send multiple things.
Yeah.
That'll be easier for me to keep track of that.
Yeah. And I guess you did get the notice, didn't you, that I will not be at the retreat because my son graduates that weekend from college.
Yeah, actually, that we've got a big wedding at our church on that weekend now too. one of our pastors is getting married that Saturday, which wasn't scheduled till a month ago.
Yeah.
So stuff like that happens.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll still have a crowd there. At least we're hoping. So is there anything else that people need to share?
Barry, we haven't heard about your chaplaincy work.
Things are going really well in the chaplaincy right now. We're in a record-breaking situation with our hospice in terms of families served, and so we've been doing a lot of celebrating, and also we're back to full staff again as of this month, which we haven't been fully staffed for about a year, so that's another huge praise report to be fully staffed. So, and in the hospice area, I do have a bit of news for you all, and that is we do have another ordained MCC clergy person in our 5-state region who is a hospice chaplain.
Wonderful.
And his name is Keith Phillips, and he works in Indianapolis. And Keith was in touch with me over the Easter weekend, and he is retiring next month. And so his last day will be a week from today. So I'm going to follow up and send him a congratulatory card, and then at our retreat we'll have a chance to maybe do something else to celebrate his retirement. We'll see how that works. So.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, I'm going to take him out to a retirement dinner in a few weeks.
Good. Well, thank you for extending that to Keith. He's been very regular in coming to network gatherings for quite a few years,
Yes.
and previously was involved with some very significant ministries at what back then was called Jesus MCC in Indianapolis. So we're just really grateful for his talent and for all of his ministries he's done.
Yeah, I mean, he initially wasn't planning on retiring so soon, but out of the blue, I got an email from him, about 6 weeks ago, and he just sort of saying, "I'm going to retire." He was in a bad car accident not that long ago too. I'm not sure how much that had to do with it, but um, he was in an accident, and then when they were when they came by to put his car, up on the wrecker to take away, another car swung and hit something, and I mean, and then he was hit a second time during that process. So he was in the hospital and had a ton of stitches on his face and whatnot, but he's doing pretty good.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. I wasn't aware that that happened.
Yeah, that happened right before he announced he was going to retire. Well, Joy, do you want to close us in prayer?
Yes, and I wanted to tell you also too that the young person I was mentoring for MCC ordination was approved for ordination, and that's Keith Cornett. He will probably have his ordination service in June. He's still looking for employment and wants to do chaplain work.
Well, thank you for sharing that.